So we'll start with customize. This customize menu looks a little bit different. It looks like we're going into another place in WordPress in our site. So this shows us how our site looks like right now. It shows us that the theme is Divi. And my recommendation when you're going through this is basically, it's very simple. Don't touch anything unless you know what you're doing and you understand why you're making the change. So for example, on the general settings, on the site identity, you can see that you can control the tagline from here as well. So change it. Don't be afraid to change it. There is a place to set a site icon. So the site icon is very important, and you need something which is at least 512 pixels wide and tall, and that's something that you either use Canva to create, or you can use the MAST, the Map Assistive Support Team. The graphic designer can help you with creating an icon for that. So that's something you need to do. On the layout, you have the option to choose if to have a boxed site or a wide site. Boxed site can have a background on the left and on the right, and the wide site is the default option, and I actually recommend the wide site. It looks more professional these days, and this is why I choose it to use it this way. You can change the accent of the color of the theme from here or from the Divi menu that we will watch later. For now, I'm not going to change anything related to color. Typography is where you can change the font sizes and even change some stuff related to headers and some colors. I'm not going to change anything here as well for now. And background is important mainly if you have a boxed website and we have a wide website. Do you understand the difference between a boxed website and a wide website?
Is that like a responsive website so that it can be different on like iPads, iPhones, and computer screens?
No, it's just the difference here where if this is a boxed layout where you have some space on the left and on the right, and this is an unboxed website. So,
oh, okay.
So it's just a graphical feature of WordPress websites.
Composition, if you will.
Yeah. So for now, we don't really need to worry about the background because it's mostly related to when there is a background that you can see, which is like when you are in a boxed formation. I'm going to go to the next one, header and navigation. So this is a feature which might be interesting to some people. For example, you can change the navigation from top navigation to vertical navigation. For example, the map key Drew Ripley have decided to use the vertical navigation, and that's something that definitely you can consider. So having the menu on the left. This is not a business decision. It's a graphical decision, a user experience decision, and of course it affects your business. But it's very hard to guess which one is better, and they are both okay. So I'm going to go back now, and as you can see, you can control stuff related to the primary menu bar. For example, make it full width, which is a little bit, for me, not looking very good. Hide the logo image, which doesn't make any sense. Change some fonts and colors of the main menu. Again, not something that I want to change right now, but good to know that you have this. Same for secondary menu. So secondary menu is when you have basically a top menu with many menus, with many pages on the bottom of it. So that will be the secondary menu. Fixed navigation settings, and I'm not changing anything that I don't know exactly that I want to. Social icons, that's actually something that might make sense for us. So for now, I'm going to turn that on, but I'm going to turn search icon off because usually you don't have enough content that you need a search box. Phone and number, I actually know that Divi is showing this in a way that I find smart and on the marketing side, because then people will watch your phone number very easily and your email. So do you mind if I put something bogus for now, but go back and change it later?
Will do, definitely. Sometimes for a previous website that I had made, I actually used a Google telephone number that then went to my actual telephone number. So it's almost like it was like a sort of a fake phone number that Google would then just transfer through to my call. And that way you don't have to put up your your personal phone number, or even your business phone number onto the website, because then you might get trolls or people calling it from automated call systems that we have here.
Okay, that's something that is interesting for me. Does this cost you money with Google?
No.
Then it sounds too good to be true, and definitely something I will check up. For me, I put my real number on my website. I've never received a phone call which is like a troll phone call, like you explained. But definitely technology changes, and people might, maybe use this, abuse the phone number in all kinds of ways. So. For now, I'm going to just press save and publish. And that was the header and navigation. The footer has a layout which we can choose if we want 3 widgets, 2 widgets, 1 widget, 2 widgets with this layout, and there are many more. So very, very flexible. You pretty much can do anything you want. Most of the sites use the 4 widgets format, even if they don't fill them all. The widgets they can have a different font, and you can choose if to show the social icons on the bottom or not. You can see it in here. I will use it for now. The footer menu, I'm not going to change it, and the bottom bar, you can add some extra credits, like, so if you don't write anything here, this is not good for you, because then they use this for getting a link for themselves. I recommend making sure you either press this, disable footer credit, or do something like built by
Powered by hamsters on a wheel.
Yeah, whatever. So for now, we'll just disable it. So that was the footer. Buttons, again, just some configuration stuff that is not interesting for us, including changing the way that it looks when you hover them. Blog, some fonts related, size of the fonts, and so on. So basically, all of those configurations can create what we call a CSS file, and the CSS file shows the website, so shows people that browse into your website how to show your website in different locations of the site. So it's just a way to configure your CSS, basically. Mobile style is actually something that is nice to look at, because you can change stuff. You can change stuff that is related to tablet and phone, and you can also see the site and know how it looks like on a phone and on a tablet. And this is a feature of Divi. This is not supported on all of the website, and I think this is important, because you can see now if the font is too small and update it.
Yeah,
specific.
that's a really big point for mobile moving forward for me.
Yeah, mobile, Google is changing the format to mobile first, which means that if your site is not perfect for mobile, they will give you less rankings, basically. Color schemes is something you can change from here, but also from the Divi menu. So I prefer from the Divi menu. Menus is extremely important. You don't have a menu right now, and I prefer choosing my menus and controlling my menus, not from inside the customize, but from the menus section. So I'm going to ignore that for now. Just know that it's the same thing that you can control from outside of this customize. Widgets, again, you can control from here. I prefer controlling it from outside of this page. And static front page, we already set it in the settings. Any questions about why we need this customize or something else here?
No, no, very good, Zivi.
Cool. I'm now going to go to the next page, which is the widgets. I already explained how important the widgets are in 2016 and 2017. I just want you to see how easy it is to control them. So for example, the search, you don't really need a search, so I'm going to delete that. Recent posts is something that, again, is not as efficient as putting a picture and a call to action. So I'm going to delete that as well. And I'm going to delete some others, like we don't need the rest. We don't need recent comments. We don't need the categories of the site, and we don't need the meta. All of those things are related to blogs in 2004 or something like that. But what we do need is probably some text. And in this text, we can put the script. So we can put HTML scripts that looks like that. So if you see something like that and they tell you put this on a widget, know that you can actually put it here on a widget as a text. Facebook box is one of the things that you might want to just paste into the sidebar. That's one of the things that I use it for. And also, if you need to put a picture, you can put the picture into the media, get the link of the media, and install it here as the content. And you can also look at the other widgets, like an opt-in monster widget. That is actually something that will probably be wise for you. Again, if you are going to use another opt-in software, you will have another option of how to put a widget in here. You can put multiple widgets and control their locations. So it's really quite easy once you know what you want. The footer area, you can control the widgets of the footer area here. For example, add a specific menu on footer number 1 and add some text and so on. And later you can also drag it and move it and make it look as whatever you like it to look. So it's quite flexible for people that used to program on HTML websites back in a few years ago, like me. All of these changes is super easy and efficient.
I like that. I've had my hand in HTML too. So does it only handle HTML? I mean, can it handle JavaScript or anything like that? Or
so if you put JavaScript inside of script, I think that's the way that it works. So it's like that's the way you usually put stuff inside. So I'm not sure exactly what type of JavaScript you are planning to use, but people will tell you take this snippet and put it inside. And yeah, if it's PHP or JavaScript, pretty much both will work. So we covered some of the widgets. We're going to take a look at the menus, which is, again, another feature of WordPress, which is so easy to control. I'm going to create a default main menu. I'm going to call it header main menu. And I'm going to choose a few pages and put them inside. And I just want you to see that I can drag it. I can drag it to the right so that this is under homepage. I can drag it too, so homepage has now 2 pages under it, and even create it with the different hierarchy. This is extremely important because sometimes we have too much pages to show, so we need to control the hierarchy. And the hierarchy can can be helpful for users to understand what do we want them to do. So it might be focused on the services or focused on the experience. I really like the hierarchy of Mapkey friend Tommy Swami May from New York. Maybe you're familiar with her. And she's the best face painter in New York. And she's
she's great.
Yeah, she also does some amazing balloons inspired by Adi Somech. And you can see that the main hierarchy is experiences for adults, or memories for kids, or balloons. So the 3 main things that people can take from illuminated faces is either something for the adults, something for the kids, or balloons. So this helps to talk to specific audiences. It also focuses on the benefits and the transition. So the reason why people need face painting for adults is to create experiences. The reason why people need face painting for kids is to create memories, and balloons are just awesome by themselves. So balloons. So I really like this structure, and you can control the structure by going inside a specific page and changing the label. So even if the page name is Contact Us, you might say something like what you need. So what you need is an example of a text that is a little bit more creates curiosity, and it might, when you go inside, it might say you need to contact us. So it creates a conversation with the user that browses into your site instead of just saying contact page, which is extremely boring and already worn out by so many sites that use the same text. So that's where you can play with the names and improve the user experience, basically. Got it?
Contact the balloon animal.
Exactly, stuff like that. You can also add a link, so a link to a specific page, even your Facebook page, and then add that to the menu. And again, you can control the location. So you can pretty much add a page, a post, or a custom link, or even a category to the menu. So it's all very, very flexible, very easy to control, and very strategic. So I do want you to think about it. I do want you to eventually take some stuff inside so that the main menu is extremely small, so that people can have focus instead of having a main menu with 12 options and people just don't know what to choose.
I like this. I like this a lot. You're giving me the skeleton, and then I can sort of flesh it out.
Cool. The next one is background, which we actually saw that inside Customize, so there's no reason to go there again. And that was the appearance section and how I look at it. and how strategic it is, not just for the Divi theme, but also for any other theme. Any questions before we go into the Divi specific settings?
Nope, let's rock.
Awesome.